There is nothing outside a man which by going into him can defile him, but the things which come out of a man are what defile him. This is in the context of clean and unclean food, or washed or unwashed hands. The gospel goes to the depths of things. You have heard that it was said, but I say to you. And the Lord is giving the meaning of the law. He is the new Moses. And thus we have the spiritualization of the law. For from within, out of the heart of man, come evil thoughts, fornication, theft, murder, adultery, coveting, wickedness, deceit, licentiousness, envy, slander, pride, foolishness. Does that sound familiar? The shell can be well cared for. One can have actually perfectly executed liturgy. One can have a very ornate church. One can have a perfectly functioning monastery or convent. But then the question is there praise? For the Lord, as he points out to the Samaritan, wants worship in spirit, therefore in truth. He goes beyond geography, Samaria or Jerusalem, to the essence of it, and we must do the same. The scenario, for instance, of a person who has gratification in doing things well, but for an impure motive, is, for the eyes of men, just the same as what is perfectly executed for God alone. But the Lord sees the difference. One time there was at the synax of the Desert Fathers, the assembly which would happen for the celebration of the sacred mysteries over the weekend, a light given to one of the monks that the others didn't have. There was one of the brethren who was a very good singer, and he was chanting away and away, and chanting away he was. But then the eyes of one of the brethren were opened. What did he see? At the back of the monastery church, he saw a demon. And what was he doing? He was in demonic gladsome mode, and he was beating the time. Much merit being gained for the singer. It can happen also with a preacher. It can happen also, unfortunately, with lay people doing this ministry or that and gaining gratification from it, sometimes against the will of Christ himself, doing things which perhaps they had better not do. But then, if one goes even further, one sees how actually this list is very relevant. Naughty thoughts. All that is to do with unforgiveness. All that is to do with wanting to get one's own back. The Lord actually, in the only prayer he gave us, reminds us that contaminates and renders inefficacious our prayer. One time, somebody had a near death, or really a death experience. Ian McCormack. He was mortally smitten by jellyfish there where doing diving underwater in New Zealand. He was on the way out, and he was actually out, and he was shown things and asked things. He knew he had somehow to find some kind of prayer, and he knew just about the Our Father, so through it he went. And he got to, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And up before his mind's eye popped up this person who had refused to help him when he was dying, to whom he had said mentally, "If I survive this, friend, your history." And the question was asked him, "And this one, will you forgive him?" And his mental answer was, "Well, it hadn't been my plan." And then he realized, until you do, you either cannot be forgiven. And so he did, and things started to change. He was given a second chance. But do you see how this one thing was the crunch? It was quite invisible to others, but unforgiveness could have meant eternal loss. And that has happened, we know that. Souls have been lost through unforgiveness. People dying, never making it up when they could have and should have. There are no winners in this one. What is there to gain from refusing to talk until death to such and such? What point can we prove? The point is proven against us by the fact that we had pride. Pride and unforgiveness are first cousins. And so it is when the Lord talks about teaching as doctrines the precepts of men, when talking to the Pharisees, he's talking also to us. This people honours me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. The Lord doesn't find consolation in a heart which is bitter, full of impure desires, full even actually of excessive worry, because it lacks trust and wants to control the universe itself. It finds, or he finds, consolation in a heart which is giving him full attention and is recognizing its reality, which is what? Nothing. 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 Let all mortal flesh keep silence, and with fear and trembling stand. Under nothing earthly minded, for with blessing in his hand, Christ our God to us descendeth, our full homage to demand. At his feet blessings bring its seraph, cherubim with sleepless eye, veil their faces to the presence, for with ceaseless voice they cry, Alleluia, 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 Lord Most High.